Story time. So some time ago, I was not a nurse yet. I wasn't even in nursing school. Oh my God, my chair is so creaky. Anyways, let's ignore it. Let's do our best to ignore it. I wasn't even in nursing school. I was taking all of my prerequisite courses and I had 2 jobs. So I was working at a gym and at a pediatrician's office. But I was thinking that I really wanted to look good when I started applying to nursing school. And when I say look good, I wanted to look good on paper. So I wanted it to be abundantly clear that I am doing my utmost best to get all of this healthcare experience. So I wanted it, oh, Lord, I'm trying to get my tongue to work with me. I wanted it to be clear that I had 2 healthcare jobs, pediatrician's office and this other job that I applied for, which was at a surgery center. Now, I understood only after I got this job that techs at surgery centers are rare and not all surgery centers use them. And I don't mean a surgical tech. I mean like a CNA, like a patient care tech. I got the job. Incredibly elated. I did not quit the gym yet. I wanted to make sure that it would work out because even though I wasn't necessarily doing this for money, I still wanted to make sure I was securing the money. And the gym was a sure job. Like I had worked there. I knew everybody. I didn't want to be like, all right, sayonara, got this other job yet. So the orientation there was very sporadic, but it also wasn't uber serious because I wasn't becoming a nurse. I was a tech at a surgery center. My responsibilities were not profound. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of profound tech jobs. This was not one of them. So that's why they were so lenient with my orientation schedule. They were like, yeah, you can come in on this day and this day. Whatever day are you free? Whatever day you are free. Oh my God. My tongue is being so disrespectful. Just work with me. Basically, they were like, we'll work with you through orientation. When you're done orientation, we'll give you a schedule that works with your school, right? Perfect. Perfect. There was this nurse that worked there. She was per diem. However, she always got full-time hours. She was the person who actually influenced me to do this because y'all hear me talking about my lack of ability or desire to commit to one facility. I love my per diems. So she was like, I stay per diem here, get my full-time hours so that when I want to take a vacation, I don't have to worry about a request. I don't have to worry about a denial. I can just go and tell her I'm not going to be here these few weeks. I said, that is luxurious. Lucky you. Good for you. So anyways, we'll call her Veronica. Veronica was cool. She seemed cool, like we didn't become the best of friends, but we did work together frequently. And I still had my gym job. Like I loved that job. I really didn't want to let it go. But that job became a more sporadic job. Anyways, so one evening I come into work. So there's 2 techs and we alternate from morning shift to evening shift. So if I worked the morning shift the last 2 weeks, I'm going to work the evening shift the next 2 weeks and vice versa. But we also worked together with one another really well. So if I was scheduled to work a morning shift where I had class, I would just switch with her. And if she couldn't switch with me, then we'd talk to the manager. It was all very flexible. It was cool. Very easy job, y'all. I was blessed. But let me tell y'all this story. So Veronica was cool. I was working the evening shift 2 to 10. I rarely ever stayed until 10. It was a surgery center. It wasn't an overnight surgery center. So if we ended up having to leave late, the latest we would leave would be like 8 because she and another nurse are still recovering another patient. So at this point in the evening, the other nurse had to leave early. And so she asked Veronica, she's like, look, are you good with me leaving? We don't have patients. I know there's supposed to be 2 of us here, but I gotta go. Like she had plans. Veronica was like, yeah, girl, go ahead. Goodbye. So that arrangement, that conversation that they had, I only discovered it when I came back from my skill or my duty of rearranging the beds, like moving the beds back to where they belong and setting them up for the next day. I didn't like to walk out of that surgery center by myself at night when the sun was all gone. It wasn't in an unsafe area, but still, it's dark and I am a girl. So I was like, Veronica, I'll just wait for you so that I can walk out with you. And she was like, okay, cool, no worries. All three of us will walk out. And I was like, who's the third person? She was like, well, my husband's coming. I said, oh, cool. Sounds lovely. We'll all walk out. Even better. So I was like, all right. Now, understand, there is a time, like after the last patient leaves, that we start locking the front because it's just us. And we will begin to unlock the front when it's time for us to leave. There was no back way to leave. There was an emergency exit, but the alarm would sound. So, I heard a knocking on the door. I had seen and met her husband before. I knew what he looked like. So he was at the front, right? Well, not yet. He did end up coming, but he wasn't at the front yet. As of now, because this surgery center is in a larger building, a lot of people from other floors are familiar with the people that work in this surgery center. So a lot of people are kind of throughout the day, not really this much at night. It's like 8:30. People have gone home. But throughout the day, a lot of people will come in and out, male and female, right? And there's this one frequent male individual that'll come throughout the day and kind of chat it up with everybody and go back up to his office. Their office wasn't as busy, whatever office it was. So he had actually came down, maybe getting closer to 9. And Veronica disappeared. Not like for good, but she often did a few things in the back, like with all of the supplies, the needles, the IV, the saline bags, the gowns, all of that stuff. She would do the restocking in the back, and then we would leave whenever I worked the evening shift, and it was with her. That was her routine. But I'm like, homegirl. So when I say disappear, I didn't mean like she disappeared. I just mean like she was back there doing a lot. Like, come on, how long does it take? So now someone knocks the front of the actual surgery center building. And I kind of just peek my head around to see if it's somebody that I know, like not enough for them to see my head, but enough for me to see what's going on in the front. And it was Veronica's husband. So I was like, oh, cool. She told me that her husband was coming. She told me that we'd all be walking out. Let me go let him in. He has a bouquet of flowers. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. So I bring him back, and we're all kind of, well, not we're all, the two of us are kind of just there having a pretty mundane conversation. How's everything been going? How you doing? You know, the weather's been getting a little cooler. We're entering fall, yada, yada, yada. So at this point, I hear the supply door creak open. And I peek my head around the corner to let Veronica know, like, hey, your husband's here. If you're done, I'm ready to go, baby girl. Like, you've been back there for a hot minute. So I'm about to say, yo, your husband, and he also sticks his head around the corner in time for the gentleman that I told you that frequents this office to like skid out from behind her, adjusting his pants. I wasn't discreet at all in my reaction. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was like, oh. I was surprised, and it was clear that I was surprised, but so was Veronica. Veronica lost color in her face. Veronica's color drained. Now, look, y'all. Let's just pause real quick. That's none of my business. It's not. And for a long time after that, I kind of beat myself up, you know, because I was so young, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't put it together in a way that essentially painted the picture that was right in front of me, which was she was being unfaithful. And I was thinking I led him right to it, but she told me he was coming. Not only that, but she was being unfaithful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me so long to like not blame myself for that whole fiasco, you know? Other quick pause. I wrote a comic book. It is being printed. I will have a release date for y'all soon. I just want the release date to be set in stone. I don't want to play games with y'all and change it. Okay, I want to wait until I got all them copies in my hand, in my box, like in front of me. And I'm also running a campaign because the goal is to turn that comic book series into an anime series. So first things first, baby steps, we're going to create a teaser. And that is what the small campaign is for. Excuse me. So essentially, if 100 people donate $50, I will already meet my campaign goal. So keep that in mind. The link will be below to donate. And then when the comic book comes out, I would love for you guys to partake. I would love, love, love for you guys to indulge in that story that I created for y'all. There's another video I posted on here titled She's Coming, where I'm talking about the comic book. So anyways, back to the story. I did kind of blame myself. And again, I did not look at the big picture. She was the one being unfaithful. She was the one in the wrong. I don't know what were I didn't know the inner workings of that relationship. It was none of my business. The fact that she was being unfaithful was none of my business. I just happened to be there when the discovery took place, especially because homegirl said, yeah, my husband's coming. And there was no other don't let him in. We're not talking. He's being very disrespectful. I'm concerned for my life. Nothing indicated that she didn't want him there. It was very welcoming. I was expecting an uproar, an upheaval. Homeboy, the husband, set the flowers down and said, I knew it. I guess I just needed to see it myself. And dipped. So she ran after him. I got my stuff. And I left. Y'all, I gotta be honest with you. That was an incredibly awkward exchange. I feel like after that, I only worked maybe 2 or 3 shifts at that surgery center. And thank God I held on to that gym job because I just went right back to picking up shifts right there. Yeah, that's my story. Click these links below. Check me out. See what else I got going on everywhere. Okay? Thanks, guys. Love you.